Hello and welcome to the MHG podcast. As usual, life could be a little bit miserable, life could be a little bit dark, so we're here to bring you as much light and as much joy as we possibly can. And finally, after a week of being apart, I no longer think I'm alone now because I'm joined by Stu. Hi Bradley. I always get that bit mixed up. How you doing, Stu?
I'm all right. I missed you terribly last week. I spoke about it on the podcast. You know, my heart was broken, but I just soldiered on as best I could.
Your heart must go on.
Well, that's right, you see. And there's no room for you on this door in the sea. It's just not going to happen.
Sure.
That's a deep cut. Titanic, you know, there's this thing about could Rose have let whatever Leonardo DiCaprio's character was
yeah,
called.
we all know she could have.
Yeah. Of course she could. There's always room. There's always room in my door for you.
I know. And if not, I'll just push you off, Stu.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, but I'll never let go.
Good.
I would never let go.
Thank you.
Okay, bit of tonal whiplash coming up, so I can't think of any way to do a transition into this. Horrible news this week. We've spoke before about how admiration for Rebecca Goodwin, the OnlyFans creator stroke social media influencer, and the good she brings to the world outside of just her videos and stuff like that as well, her philanthropy and everything. This week, it's been revealed that by someone she trusted, and I don't know the full details of the person, but she was raped and has felt the need that she's had to come out publicly to almost shame her local authorities into doing something about it, to shame, I suppose, the media into giving it the coverage it needs, rather than, I think as she put it herself, they're willing to write stories about her when she wears a latex dress, but not jump on this. What she's doing, to paraphrase her, she's doing what she can to protect other women because the people that should be doing that can't or won't do it. And she must be going through some awful, awful stuff internally, mentally, and to show the strength of character she is, to stand up to this person, and I believe to shame them into handing themselves into the police. And the police haven't done anything. The actual rapist has taken the step, not to credit the rapist, but for whatever reason, because she's got the evidence that she says she's got as well, he's obviously taken those steps to try and, I'm assuming, mitigate the worst possible outcome for himself. But the fact that she shows this strength to try and stop this happening to others, amazing. She just continues to be an inspiration. And it's just horrible what's happened to her. And for myself, and I'm sure Stu will chime in, nothing but our moral support for this. Keep going, because we need more people like you in this world, Rebecca.
Yeah, it's incredibly brave to step forward. I mean, it doesn't matter whatever the circumstances, it's just always going to be incredibly difficult, and pushing that responsibility onto the victim is just staggering. But I'm hoping this will be a watershed moment now, because we've known for a long time that, you know, sexual assault is under prosecuted. It's rampant, and there's very little in terms of comeback and, you know, accountability for anything that happens, and prosecution rates are incredibly low. It's practically a crisis. I think it's been deemed a crisis in this country, in the UK, and yeah, her stepping forward and doing this is incredibly brave. And, you know, she's primarily doing it so it doesn't happen again, you know, to herself, but to other women, like you say. It's just an incredibly brave and forward thing to do, and just, yeah, very proud of her, but obviously very, very sad that it had to come to this.
Indeed, and as she's pointed out, and it should be obvious, who she is, her job, how she dresses, all that kind of thing, is not consent. Consent can only happen between the two individuals, and if at any point either of those individuals says no, it's no. Doesn't matter what she does as a job. And I know there's, like, apparently there has been comments aimed at, well, you film yourself, blah, blah, blah. It's not consent. There's a difference between what she does as a job and who she chooses to be with in her private life, for a start. But everything that should all be there is in consent, and if you break that consent, you're a rapist.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be a story we hear more of. I didn't want to start the podcast with that, but as you as a man, me as a male presenting person, we have to take responsibility for other men, because it's the patriarchal society that we've lived in that have allowed this sort of thing to happen. And we do have to call it out when we see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and as loudly as possible, and decry it, and be as critical and as supportive of the person involved, as the victim as possible. So yeah, our support is always there.
So one of those weeks whereby we don't do a comedy segue or anything like that. So we'll just pass it on. It's a quick one this week because life gets in the way. So I'm going to start off with, because I'm still trying to decide what game I'm going to talk about. I will pass off to Stu and ask what you've been playing.
Well, I've been playing a game called Fresh Tracks, which is a sort of pun or play on words on the fact that you're skiing in a kind of Nordic Viking environment. So you're creating fresh tracks with your skis, and also that it's a rhythm music harmonic type game. So the music that you're listening to are indeed fresh tracks. Very good. Very, very different game from a lot that I've played, and I'll tell you for why. So it's kind of like an on-rails fighting game, or combat game, mixed with a rhythm action game. It's a really strange blend, but it works really well. So yeah, as I say, you're kind of, if you think of being on rails in the way that Sonic is in some of the 3D games, so you've got like several rails and you can jump between them.
Yeah.
And objects come at you that you have to avoid, and you also have to hit the correct objects in, as you would with most rhythm games, in the right order, and so that you keep the rhythm going without being injured, and you have a health bar. And so I mean, in that kind of terms, it's fairly standard. But what sort of marks it out is a couple of things. One is that it's focused very much on having a wide range of control. So instead of you trying to hit a button to the beat, you are trying to duck, dodge. Yeah, no, I know the whole dodgeball thing is going to happen. But yeah, it's a dodgeball simulator.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Exactly, yeah. If you can dodge a Nordic god, you can dodge a ball. So yeah, you have to crouch, you have to jump over objects, you have to move between the tracks left and right, but you also have to lean. So you've got lean on the LB and RB buttons, and so there's a lot of movement in a very short amount of space. And you're doing all this to the beat, obviously, but you also have a slash attack. So your right stick, you have to slash trees and other objects that get in your way. So there is a lot going on. And, the easy tracks are comparatively sort of accessible straight away. Although, they give you a bit of a challenge. Normal difficulty tracks, immediately you're feeling the difference and you're going to be taking a few hits. And the hard tracks are feel like expert level tracks. So it's a real challenge. But how it ameliorates that a little bit, how it kind of tamps it down and adjusts, is that it's basically a roguelite. So you can buy better skis that give you different abilities, and the things that you collect in the level, so the items that spark the harmonics, they also act as currency. And so yeah, you can adapt and improve and have bigger health bars and bigger jumps and all that sort of stuff in a typical roguelike style. So it's a very odd blend, but it works very, very well. The overall theme is that you're trying to sort of get to and reconnect with the gods of these Nordic mythological gods, and you're having to defeat different things as you're going along to accomplish that. And the theming is nice. It just fits well. It's not heavy, but it allows for some interesting and intriguing shapes and visions going on. It's very straightforwardly presented. It's not kind of very flashy, but it's kind of very clear, which it needs to be. And the controls are very, very responsive, which of course is like absolutely imperative. On top of that, the tunes that they've got in it are excellent. They're really good fun. They're sort of kind of poppy synth tracks that are, got a little bit of depth to them, a little bit of edge. They're not just, empty bubblegum pop. There's a little bit of sophistication in there. And I've played about sort of 4 or 5 of these tunes so far, and I've enjoyed them all, and it's very, very important when you're playing this. So it's not perfect. There's a couple of things that I think I would like to see maybe tweaked a little bit. One is that the sort of frantic nature of kind of ducking, leaning, getting back up again is made a little bit more difficult than it possibly should be by the items you're collecting not always differentiated in colour. So I would like have a different colour for when you crouch, for the items that you need to crouch to get, and for ones that you need to lean to get versus the ones that are directly in your path. I think that would be a really nice accessibility option that would benefit everybody. The other one is a bit more of a general thing in that you need to do the rhythm thing because you need to get, avoid the obstacles. But doing that, you don't have to do it. There's you won't die if you miss things, but really there's only one critical path. So it's not very kind of like you've got to hit this beat exact. That's in there and you get better scores for it. But it's less rhythm, it's more action. Now, that's fine. It's just, something to note if you're thinking, I'm going to be grabbing my next kind of Guitar Hero. It's nothing like that, really. And it's not even like that one that me and you played, I can't remember, the first-person shooter one that's, what's it called?
Bullets per minute, that one?
Yeah, that's the one, bullets per minute. It's not even like that where you can use the audio track to sync up and time your responses. It's definitely leaning more into the action. But that said, it's a nice blend of things. And the fact that it's a blend of things that make it a new thing is really pleasant, because you don't want it to be just retreading old ground or, skiing over old snow, yellow snow. It's fresh tracks.
So, couple of questions regarding. So I like the idea of something that's not like got critical failure moments and stuff like that. I like that because it's a new way of listening to music, and I think I love the idea of stuff like that takes music and just goes, look, it's listening to music, but you're doing something with it. That's a great idea. Can you import your own music into the game?
I've not seen that option. I suppose it's possible, but I've not seen that option. I would think it was probably very hard because, it does have to be still timed to the right beat.
Yeah. Yeah, from a social one, that's the only thing I would possibly like to see, whether it's modded in or whether it's something they can add down the line if it becomes successful, is that ability to bring your own music in, because, again, a lot of these games aren't music that I would listen to. And I know not everyone's going to want to be playing a rhythm action game to Jenny Lewis or Rockville River and stuff like that. But I would, rather than like the faster beat stuff. It's not the stuff I like to sit and relax to. But that's personal preference. It's but I just love the idea of these things that take music and use them in ways that isn't just, here's some buttons going up a screen, and that's all you've got to do. Because that's been perfected and we don't need more of those, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, good. It sounds interesting. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was one that wasn't going to be immediately for me. But I know you do like these sort of games. You're good at the rhythm games. I'm not.
I'm certainly passable at them. I can do them to a degree where I actually enjoy them, which is nice. And this is very sort of reaction heavy. It's very action focused. So it might hopefully draw a lot of people in from that. I really hope it does. It's the The only thing with the way that it's presented is, because it's presented in a way that's quite approachable and gentle, it might not grab the action audience immediately. So I'm hoping it finds an audience, even though it's not like immediately like, oh, big hefty man with a sword chopping people's heads off. It's more gentle than that. But I hope it does find its audience, because it needs refinement, but it's such a great start for this kind of idea.
Should have called it SSFX.
Like SSX, but
and sound effects.
That's pretty good, actually.
SSX, but with sound effects.
Yeah.
Lovely. Like, I've also been playing quite an action-heavy game, Stu. You know me, I love my action-heavy games.
Of course.
And this one is a sandbox, cosy, puzzle, design and illustration, according to the tag, like, game. Really action-heavy. It's called MakeRoom.
Yeah.
And you are this big brutish hero. You're not. You're just a cursor on a screen. No, it's called MakeRoom. Basically, it's just a cozy room designer. You get given these little areas, little dioramic areas, and you go in there and you've basically got to lay them out with like furniture, decorate the walls, the ceilings, etc., etc. And you do kind of get scored on them, because the idea is, as you go, you've got clients, quote unquote, and they've got, oh, my room needs this, can you do it? So you go in and you decorate. There's no, like, oh, I need it exactly like this, or you don't get scored properly. It's like, oh, I need my room doing, make it look nice. You go in, and you might get some things going, oh, I like the colour green, and stuff like that. And so you go in and you create these rooms, and you then move on, and the client goes, yay, that's lovely. And then you get another one, you go, and it's just literally just doing that. It's a pure relaxation game. And you kind of go in, you might have some rooms that you need to clear stuff out. So you click on it, you clear it out, and then you like redo whatever you want. You could have there's shop fronts in there, so you might need to do like a dining area out the front of a coffee shop. There's gardens, camper vans, all kinds of things that you go and sort of basically decorate and build. But beyond that, and I really like this, it goes down to quite a decent level of customization. So you can actually design individual bits of furniture in there as well. So you can, for example, you might have a shelving unit, and you can kind of customize that shelving unit, not just colors, but you can add extra shelves, you can put drawers in there, choose the materials, and basically build what you want and customize to go into your room. And it's it takes you right down. Now, I'm not very good at doing the actual customization stuff, but what it does open up is the ability for people to create stuff and share it. Don't know if there's workshop support for this or not at the moment, but I believe there might be. So you God knows what you'll get there, whether people recreate IKEA furniture or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's honestly just one of those games where you kind of play it, and it's not a game. It's not a game. They've just given it a slightly gamification feel to give you a reason to play it beyond people who just go, oh, I like making stuff. So they've added that, which is a really good thing to sort of bring new people into it. But I sat down with it one evening, put a podcast on, not ours. I know. How dare
Ooh, traitor.
I know. It was a horror stories podcast. Can't remember what it was. Just found it. It was interesting. Anyway, I was listening to that and sort of doing this. A few hours passed, and I was just been on this one room for 2.5 hours. Just what that colour, that colour, that colour. What if I do that? Oh, I could adjust that furniture and all things like that. And it was just so much fun to play. And it was a nice one just to while away the hours and not stress. Lovely.
Yeah, it looks very, very cute, very sweet, and charming. Yeah, why not? Why not?
And I love the ones that shrink stuff down as well, because I think sometimes you get these sandboxes and they're just too vast, and you're I don't know where to start. Whereas when you get like a smallish room, you're like, well, I'm confined, so I've got to work within this area. And I find that a lot easier to actually work in. Not saying the other one's wrong, and there's bad things about having these massive open world areas to work in. But it's nice to have the option for someone like me who just looks at the big open canvas and goes, oh.
Yeah, too right. I would be more drawn towards the the smaller style of this game. Yeah, this sort of game represents definitely. Yeah, oh, lovely.
Just before we go, I'm going to push my luck. So I'm waiting for the Boiler Man to arrive. If you remember a few weeks ago, Stu, I said I love this new wave of arcade machine style Balatro games that are coming out. We've had the the coin grabbers, what's it, prize grabbing one, sorry. We've had like the pachinko ones and all stuff like that, along with your various different card based ones. And I went, what we really need is a coin pusher, Stu. And do you know what we've got, Stu?
You willed it into existence.
I did. What I didn't realise I willed into existence is having it based on raccoons for some reason. Don't know why it's there, but this got announced last Thursday, and I kind of went, yes, fake, I've been waiting for this, and I got kindly sent an early playtest key. So I think I was literally one of the first in the country, in the world, to play this game outside of like the development and publishing team. So yeah, I'm the definitive voice on RACCOIN, as it's going to be called.
Yeah, you.
Just a quick thing. It's obviously still very, very early. It's satisfying as hell to play. It's very much the arcade ones where you put your coins in the side and it just drops them from the sides and they roll to where they've got to go. It's not ones where it goes down the bottom and does pachinko style stuff to drop in on lanes, or it's not tipping point style stuff. It's one of the proper 2p coins machines where it just goes in it goes. And the coin pushing mechanic's so satisfying, and because it's a roguelike not deck builder, but a Balatro-esque type thing. Different coins have different abilities that can do different things. Like they can increase the points, they can increase points of other coins. They have effects. Like one of them is to every time as long as it's in the machine, every time you play 20 more coins, you then get to shake the machine, and that brings loads of coins out and stuff like that. Other ones that create vortexes that take coins from the bottom shelf, throw them up in the air and drop them back on top, so you get another cascade and all things like that. And such as like with all the other ones, like the Balatros, you start off only needing a few points, and then you need more points, then you need more, then you need ridiculous amounts. And it's about building your basically your arsenal of power-ups and stuff like that to make sure you continue to increase and improve. Bit rough around the edges in places. I don't think the physics are fully there yet. And I would argue that it's not as clean as a Balatro or something like that. So trying to work out what coins do what is a little bit confusing to start with, and it takes a lot of plays to get through it. So I'm hoping that's something they clean up. But the core mechanic of dropping those coins in and having them fall out the other end, oh my god, that's brilliant. And that's the main part. The rest of it they can fix, but the core, I'm dropping coins in and they're coming out the other end, absolutely brilliant.
It's definitely one that's like, yeah, it's been dropping down my slot, I can tell you.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, I was obsessed with Balatro for a while, and this, it looks like it's scratching that itch, so can't wait for this one to come out.
I would say it's not as good as Balatro, but nothing is. Because
True.
I think Balatro it was perfect. I think it's as close as perfect as you're ever going to get for a game. But if this is one of those where if Balatro's the S tier, the god tier of the game, this will go in that next one down, along with the likes of Dungeon Crawler and things like that. There's a few others that I'm going to cover in a few weeks that are like based around pool, like pool, snooker pool, not swimming pools. And they're pretty decent. So yeah, there's loads of these. I think that it is definitely the in thing at the moment, and I reckon we'll probably get a few more of these by the end of the year, and then I think they'll start to die out as everyone does them. And then obviously we can go back to proper deck builders because we haven't got enough of them.
No, absolutely. But yeah, no, I can't wait. Yeah, it's yeah, no, it's funny. The odd one like this just really drags itself out of the pack and makes you wake up and smell the raccoon. I don't know where I'm going with that one.
No, not a skunk though. Don't want to smell a skunk.
Nah, no, not really.
Unless it's skunk and Nancy. That's weird.
Yeah. Skin would like to have a word with you.
Yeah, I don't know where that. It's the only thing that when you say skunk, the only thing that ever comes to mind is skunk and Nancy, because I love saying the word skunk and Nancy.
It was a great band name.
Yeah, I know. So I don't know where I'm going, Stu.
Neither do I.
So I think that's a good time to end it. Not end it, just like the episode.
Oh my god. I didn't realise you were so down.
I meant the show, not my life. I'm in a good place. Oh, before we go.
Yeah?
Can I do my proud dad moment?
Please do.
Yes, proud dad moment. My daughter had a trial with Ipswich Town this last week and got signed for the 25-26 season as part of their goalie hub and into their elite pathway. So, yeah, my daughter is now an Ipswich Town player, and I'm so proud of her.
So exciting. It's so cool. It's unbelievable. It justified all the work she's put in. So brilliant. Really chuffed. So chuffed with this.
I am, and everyone who sort of knows her and sort of like knows me and stuff like that is like, everyone's like, oh my God, I'm so proud of her. I was like, I know, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Big things in her future.
Yes. So, with that, that's where I'll finish off on Proud Dad moment.
Why not, eh? Yeah, absolutely. As usual, follow us on all the socials. Make sure you're checking out our content on the website. Join us to discuss things on Discord if you wish, any topic you like, but obviously primarily video games. And other than that, until next week, stay safe and stay sane.